Basic learning theory concepts, the basis for the personality model used with the process healing treatment method. I assume that you have completed Part 1. Part 2 builds on the information presented in Part 1. In this part, we continue to build the model discussing stimulus, response, and reinforcement. Recall that behavior is a sequence of memory structures that, when activated, creates the behavior. All responses have unique memory structures. Active conscious and unconscious memories in the active experience are used to create a response. A collage is formed to make a response that will give the person more happiness and less pain. Memories move back and forth between the dormant and active memories as stimulation changes. What is a stimulus? A stimulus is a sensory event such as an image, sound, or feeling that activates a memory structure into the active experience. Each memory structure has a representation of the stimulus event. Hearing cat, pet, or jack evokes the memory of the cat. The more motivation, the more likely the memory will activate. Stimuli evoke responses into the active experience. Using the verb evoked implies that the likelihood of activating the response is variable depending upon motivation. External and internal stimuli evoke responses. The memory structure of a response includes the stimuli that will evoke it. Internal stimuli such as muscle sensations, organ activity, the bladder, skin sensations, an itch, hunger, thirst, and general aches and pains can evoke or trigger dormant memories. Unstimulated dormant memories remain dormant. Again, stimuli are represented in the memory structure. When a stimulus occurs, the memory structure is activated. Unstimulated active memories become dormant. External stimuli. Our sensory experiences are external stimuli that evoke dormant memories into the active experience. External stimuli are hearing, seeing, smelling, touching, and tasting. Memory structures or responses that have the specific external sensory experience associated with them will activate. Again, active memories, not stimulated, become dormant. Emotions of active memories can activate dormant memories with similar emotions. The emotions in the memory structures of the dormant memories are similar to the active emotions in the active experience. Unstimulated responses remain dormant. Responses can provide stimuli. How is that? A memory structure has physiology representing many features of the response. These features of the response can serve as stimuli to evoke other responses into the active experience. Responding to a girl with different qualities will evoke memories and thoughts about that girl and other girls. Let's look at stimuli and the active experience. Both active internal and external stimuli and active responses and emotions serve to evoke dormant memories or responses with similar qualities into the active experience. Other unstimulated active responses become dormant. How are we protected from response overload? Just like the dissociative process, there is another developmental process that serves as a gatekeeper for admitting responses into the active experience. This is the associative process. The red line around the active experience represents this. Normally, when we see a pencil, we don't think of a hot dog or a nail, although they have similar stimuli. The associative process prevents it. When a person's dissociative and associative processes are not working together, they have difficulty focusing. People with damaged dissociative processes can have personality disorders like loose associations. Why are stimuli important? Stimuli trigger trauma or painful emotions. Treatment only occurs in the active experience with active memories. Therapists create strategies or interventions to trigger or activate the memory of the target issue. Here are some examples. When you say a statement opposite to the target belief, it triggers all memories associated with the target belief. Or think of the trauma that's bothering you. The trauma will activate in your conscious or unconscious mind. When you see your abuser, you can have traumatic intrusions activate in your conscious or unconscious mind. The autobiographical memory consists of all memories that were learned after we developed our sensory experiences. It runs from shortly before birth till now. It is a record of our experience. The behavior of the main personality is obtained from the autobiographical memory. Initially, I believed that there was a basic neurostructure that constructed a collage from the active experience to create a response. Now I believe that the creation process is caused by a property of the universe that maintains continuity between living and inert objects. While this assumption is not important for this model of the personality, it is important in my theory of spiritual reality. Examples of triggering a response. When were you born? What is your birth date? What was the last school you attended? What catches your eye when you're in the mall? Do you remember a big toilet accident? These questions triggered dormant responses or answers from your autobiographical memory into our conscious main personality. What did you learn? You learned about dormant memories, the active experience, and that memories move back and forth between dormant and active memories. You also learned that a response is a collage assembled in the active experience, and that the main personality is created from the autobiographical memory. You learned what stimulates memories, and that stimuli are important in therapy. You learned about the basic neural structure and about dissociative and associative processes. This is the end of Part 2. In this part, you learned about stimulus, response, and reinforcement. If you've understood everything, go on to Part 3. Otherwise, replay Part 2 to pick up what you may have missed. Part 3 presents a model to describe the creation of dramatic personality parts. While not consistent with current psychological thinking, most of the patients with whom I have worked over the past 15 years easily accepted the model. See you in Part 3.